and their 3 position. Deathbringer, the Dazzle, the good thing about it is it offers so much flexibility depending how the draft pans out here. An instant ban of the Puck, that's really quite interesting. Here for the side of Deathbringer gaining, maybe Neon plays it very, very well. And they just don't want to let someone with a silence through the draft. The Magnus and the Timbersaw banned out for the side of Neon. So maybe they're thinking about picking a strength mid laner, and they know the Timbersaw would be a heavy counter to that. And the Magnus, they just don't want to let that empoweredness get onto a carry and allow them to accelerate for the side of Deathbringer.
5 Radiant remaining pick.
And a Juggernaut ban out.
Keeper of the Light.
Okay, so with this Keeper of the Light pick, does that put... So that must be a 5 position keeper. Really interesting. Unless you're going to lane Tusk with someone. So this means this is either an off lane or a mid lane Dazzle. So that at least tells us that Dazzle's going into the core position. Neon might pick up their 5 position here, or if they think their carry is going to be contested heavily, like something like a Faceless Void might be good. But I think Keeper's pretty good versus Faceless Void. And there's that Lich that we talked around in the first phase. He made his way all the way into the second phase.
Dire team pick.
Sven stands ready.
Radiant team
And I think that's a carry Sven for the side of Deathbringer. And Anti-Mage, he made it through the second phase of the draft. So they're going to pick him up. That Anti-Mage. You know, Sven does farm fairly well. And if he manages to get a good stun on the Anti-Mage, he builds, you know, 4 crit. They can kill this Anti-Mage. But he is someone who can blink forward into that Will-O-Wisp. Really high base attack speed. So once he pops Manta Style, they will be able to take down the Ignis Fatus. But Sven, if he gets online fast enough, can kill an Anti-Mage. My real issue is their lack of control for him. The only reliable stun they have is Stormhammer, and that does have a travel distance. The nice thing you can do, though, is if Anti-Mage is standing next to any sort of creep wave, any one of his allies, instead of allowing him to get that counter spell off, you just Stormhammer whoever's next to the AM. So it is a nice reliable stun. So let's have a think about the last bans coming out. OD is still in the pool for both these teams. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone ban it out. And then premium mid heroes are the Kunkka is still in the pool. Well, I take it back. With the ban of the Timbersaw, they knew they were thinking about a strength mid laner, so banning out that Kunkka from Deathbringer. Really heads up play there. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we see an OD ban. OD with the pure damage can handle the AM.
10 seconds remaining.
However, they do have first pick coming out of this phase of the draft for Neon, so they might not buy it, ban it, and pick it up themselves. So if they're going to pick the OD, they'll ban out Pugna here.
Dire team pick.
But in fact, a Terrorblade ban. Oh, I think they assume they have their mid laner in the form of the Dazzle. The fact that Sven's off lane. So they ban out the TB. So if Deathbringer are looking for a carry because this isn't a carry Sven, then we might see the Faceless Void. Something we've seen a large resurgence of. Offers really good catch. I mean, he's not so good versus the Beastmaster or on the Rubric, and he'll take some time to get online. But he will allow you to kill that Anti-Mage, at least in late game. Be able to catch him. As the timer ticks down, OD has made it through this far into the draft. Something I think you really have to be considering here. The lane might be a bit tough versus a Dazzle, but as you get into that mid game, he will do so much work. Time is ticking down for Neon. They have to make up their mind in the next minute. DB does not have more control than Neon. They have the Stormhammer and the Tusk and the Keeper's ulti, but then you have to compare that towards the Raw, the Lift, as well as the Gaze. The Lift and the Gaze being much better disables than the ultimate of the Keeper of the Life and the Snowball, just because they instantly come off. So I think they really are lacking catch at this moment in time for the AM, if I'm honest. Because I think his blink animation allows him to get out of the Will-O-Wisp. I don't think it's long enough for him to be trapped in there. But Neon, now they're eating into their reserve time. They have 10 seconds left. I really think this is going to be an OD. Or no, it might be a Pugner. Because they haven't banned out the OD and they could go carry Sven offlane Dazzle. But no, they pick the Pugner themselves, stopping the ability for the OD pick. I quite like the Pugner, especially versus a physical damage carry. I mean, no matter who it is. And once he gets farm, Keeper of the Light is going to be very squishy all game long. So that's a nice, easy kill if Pugner gets onto the backline. As well as we've just seen the power of the Netherward in fights. Also, if this Sven tries to build any damage items, he's just going to get decrept. The decrep just being able to save anyone from any physical damage here.
Choose your hero.
So it looks like we do have a mid Dazzle. I'm interested in the mid Dazzle Pugner matchup. I'm not quite sure who wins it. I think decrep is really good here because you can decrep the Dazzle so Poison Touch doesn't get refreshed, which is the worst thing when you're fighting in the mid lane. And then this Troll, he doesn't out-carry AM, I'm pretty sure. So it looks like Deathbringer, especially with the Dazzle, are going to try and hit about a mid-game timing push, hopefully before the AM is fully online, and be able to just win the game. I think I have to go for the side of Neon, because I like the AM pick. I don't think they've really got enough counters for it on the side of Deathbringer Gaming. I think Neon has this. They are the favourites, I'm told.
Remaining.
And I think they just don't have quite enough lockdown for the AM. I mean, the Troll does have nets, and if he gets off Basher, but I think they should... Deathbringer's timing, I think it's around the 25-minute mark. And I think with Pugner spam, you know, you have enough to be able to push out high ground. You know, some lineups you see, they won't come online, and there's nothing they can do when they hit a big push, you know, because they have Warcry, the heal of the Dazzle. It will be a very strong push, as well as, you know, the Illuminate and that kind of thing. But you have so much spam from the Rubric, Whirling Axes, the Pugner's Nether Blast, as well as the spells of the Lich. I'm pretty sure Neon will be able to get it to the late game, where they're at least the 30-35 minute mark, where their AM is totally in control of the game, and he can just go around, you know, even killing this mid Dazzle at some point. The Dazzle will be food for the AM, I'm pretty sure. Well, I was just looking on how people bet on, was it Gosu Gamers? But if Deathbringer are the heavy favourites, then maybe they won't play as well as I think they will on Neon. It's been a while since I've casted FCA. So if chat says Deathbringer are the better team, then I'm interested to see what does happen. We're going to go to free camera so that I can try and miss all the kills manually.
Magic is an abomination.
Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me here for game number 1 of the evening. It seems they're all together here on the side of Deathbringer. Do they have a smoke on anyone? There is no smoke, but it looks like they're just hoping to catch someone out. They're sitting here, but they have no smoke. Oh, finally the smoke comes out onto the off the Cottle, and it looks like they might catch out this Lich. The line they've drawn is to go up this hill. And they see the AM. AM, he didn't level anything, but the Frost Shield is just going to allow him to take no damage and escape.
30 seconds to battle.
And with that, the AM, if they found anyone else, that would have been an easy kill. But a lot committed and not a lot gained. They've already got the ball here. They're waiting for someone here with the Rubric and the Beastmaster able to just zone them out from the rune. But it looks like we'll have the classic 2-for-2 trade. But this is going to be a Sven Tusk lane versus the... Oh, I don't think they're going to try lane it. They might keep everyone together to try and go for first blood. AM blinking forward, doesn't manage to get the rune. They prop the frost shield just so he takes less damage. But this means the Lich has spent 2 frost shields. That will make him a bit lower of mana in lane. This mid lane, I'm not quite sure who it favors, in all honesty. I think probably Dazzle wins the lane just because she's a slightly stronger laner. And then the Tusk has arrived bottom, which they have vision of thanks to this really good ward here for the side of Neon. The boar just walking alongside. First blood, I think, will probably happen in this bottom lane, but I'm not quite sure for who. Using the tag team, just getting up some more harass, as well as a nice slow coming out there from Karma. But it looks like they just don't have the damage to be able to really heavily commit. Meanwhile, Guevara just trading hits with the AM. And then just the Hawk for vision of rotations and if anyone's trying to get off a pull. That's a nice play there by Rappy. Just spam of the Fate Bolt from Play Hard. It's not quite high enough level to really do anything. But he does... Remember, this is a range for position versus the Tusk. So he should be able to get in a fair amount of harass while Karma's busy CSing. So let's have a look how things are going in the top lane. CS. The AM is slightly on top, but Guevara, he nicely here on the creep wave. Actually, Blinding Light picked up level 1 instead of the Illuminate. Looks like he didn't want to push the wave and just be able to make sure that they don't take a lot of damage and mess with that. And in the bottom lane, they're going on the troll, but with the tag team, are they going to be able to keep hard? He doesn't have enough mana for another Fate Bolt, and it looks like he's going to go down. They do exchange the troll for him, but I think they'll be happy to take first blood here on the bottom lane for the side of DBG. The troll's doing a lot of damage, and he has to pop all his regen with that salve there. So Troll has come back to lane, but they also have the Rubik. They've caught him in with the shards. They've got the tag team damage, so the slow on Rappy. How long on tag team? Taggy has one off, but with the whirling axes, it's not quite enough. And he's going to be able to get away and salve up. Clutch, with the slow, I don't think they have quite enough, but they are going to harass him, and this is now a very low Beastmaster. This lane being fairly tricky. Top lane, I don't think there's much kill potential unless the AM goes on the Cottle. But he's too busy. He cares more about creeps than kills at this stage in the game. Whirling axes. Just being spammed. They do manage to catch Karma, and as well as that final tag team, another easy kill here for this troll. Really taking off. 1k ahead. Meanwhile, in this mid lane, Pugner honestly getting dumpstered by this Dazzle. 13-8. But we're going to stay tuned in this bottom lane because I think that's where all the action is going to go down. Actually, let's have a closer look at this mid lane. We know Dazzle is on top, has a fair bit of regen, is winning the experience battle as well. Just being able to spam out all his spells and avoiding those blasts. Right click slightly harder. I didn't expect it to be this Dazzle favoured, but I guess it's not a massive lead. And it looks like the Ice Shards don't actually latch onto anyone. He's just using it to zone them from the creeps that he's trying to farm himself here on this task. With the double boars up, it looks like Troll actually, he's prioritizing killing the boars, which is really nice, just denying that extra power from the Beastmaster in lane. We've seen this before from good players. They just run onto the boars, denying the Beastmaster his abilities. Meanwhile, they're just trading here in this top lane, Blinding Light to be annoying, but it really doesn't do much. Arcane Rune on the Pugner. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, they do manage to kill the Rubik with the Shards Snowball tag team. Sorry about missing that one. And we are getting a lovely bit of SAA luck. They have the slow from the board, and it looks like Firefly. He's going to pay for being that aggressive with his life. Husk, after his tumble, is back in the spot lane, but we're coming to the 5-minute mark. Are they going to contest this? They've got a vision not blocking out any camp, but it looks like those 2 runes are going to go to the side of the Rubik and Lich taking this top. So it's going to be a 3-for-1 rune exchange for the side of Neon. We're just staying tuned in this bottom lane. AM and Sven not hitting each other, just really fighting over every little point of CS. The task key is under the tower here. They have a lift, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill him. And Marlin just running away. He has on the 1-1-1 build, just looking to aid this Sven in the lane, not be able to push it out or farm himself. And Armor, he's actually been left alone. Tusk, he's looking to do something on mid lane, but his Dazzle has actually harassed this Pugner so far out of lane. He's gone to the shrine. They do get vision now. It looks like he's waiting for the 6-minute rune. It is an invis rune, just for his bottle. And Tusk, he's not able to make anything happen. He's using the tag team, but decrept up, so you're not going to be able to reapply that slow here to Mark.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But he knows decrep is down, so he's going to lay in to him with the poison touch.
Invisibility.
Bot lane, Sven just killing off this Frostchild creep. He doesn't manage to get it. The CS just being really annoying here on this Lich. But this is allowing the Keeper to get off his pulls because Sven's so tanky. Are they going to dive Karma? It looks like not. They don't have Hawk for vision. And in the mid lane, the rotation of the Tusk does result in the dead Pugner. They both got slightly low. But we can have a look. They just snowball in as well as the stuns. And while I'm doing that, they actually managed to kill the AM in the top lane. I guess the stun of the Sven, are they going to be able to get another one? He has the Warcry online. The Illuminate, it does come out. It's only level 1, but with the phase boots, it's going to be an easy kill here on this Lich. So things going DBG's way in all the lanes so far. As we switch over to net worth, we can see the only person doing well here is Rappy for the side of Neon. Everyone else below their counterpart for the side of Deathbringer. Snowball in, as well as the Tro Warlord ulti, the shards, giving more vision, and they've even brought the Dazzle for this push. Are they going to be able to catch play hard? It looks like he's going to TP out. Snowball's already down, but they do manage to kill him thanks to the minus armor of the bad Juju here coming from OP. Well, OP indeed. But once you leave your lane, you do expose your tower to some damage. But with the Illuminate span, they should be able to defend this from Happy Luke. They're sitting here. They're waiting to see if they get a lucky rune at the 8-minute mark. And it looks like it is an arcane rune, however, for the top lane. So they're not going to be able to go gank with it. And they're saying, let's just kill this Beastmaster again. However, he scouts out the Tusk, I think, with the vision from this boar. And meanwhile, Sven, he's now very happy trade from the AM. Really nice use of the spell shield there. All the mana burnt from Kvara. He has level 6. A few more hits. Is he going to go for the mana void? I don't think it would have popped him, but it would have got him really close to death. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, sorry about that. That was the first roar as well as the rotation from the Lich, resulting in a nice kill here onto the Troll. I'm really surprised that happened, considering that the Dazzle's here. Snowball onto the creeps just to be safe. It is on cooldown, but they have the Sinister Gaze bringing in the Tusk. Really nice play here in this bottom lane from Neon, evening things up. But still 8 for 4 on the side of GBG, and having harassed the Sven out of lane, Scadalicious, he's applying a fair amount of damage to this tower. It looks like they're swapping things around, because having a nice stun here on the Sven, they might be able to make something happen. Husky is going mid. They have to try and do something, otherwise Lark, after having a bad laning phase, is going to get your tower for free. They've even actually brought the AM down here just because they saw the TP of the troll top, making them a fair bit afraid. Sven, he pops Warcry to take less damage, but they're going to be able to slow him down thanks to the Frost Field of the Lich. Just burning some of his mana, and with the Gaze coming out, the Illuminate, it really doesn't do a lot of damage at all. They restore his mana, but that, with the Mana Void, that's going to be a dead Gavara. Gadalicious just coming online. They have a list onto the Troll, but is he going to be able to one down this rubric? He pops his ultimate, but he's not able to get anything off it, and is now just attacking creeps. Something you're unable to control, and Scuddelicious is going to get the first tower of the game for the side of Neon. So even after that not great laning phase, it looks like they are up on top. A nice route up there, but Play Hard pops his stick and he's going to be fine. They're turning this round with the Roar. They have a beast. Fate Bolt for in 5 seconds, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the kill. Easy vision, thanks to that Hawk. Fate Bolt off cooldown. It's not quite enough. No whirling axes, and they're not able to reapply the snow. Will he be able to get away? Snowball coming in from the back line with the tusk. He pops his ultimate as well as the tag team, and that's a dead Rubik. And it looks like Rappy might quite be next with the Illuminate. The Troll whirling axes, giving the blind, so Rappy can't apply any right-click damage. And so they do manage to save Karma. But Happy Luke, he does come in, but they've got the disable thanks to the Ignis Fatus. Happy Luke, is he able to get anything off? He decreps, and he does manage to bring him down thanks to the Nether Blast. Firefly, is he able to make anything more happen? They're reapplying the slow and the poison touch. It looks like Abang, they've accepted he's already dead. But before he goes down, he pops his ultimate. But the Snowball bringing them forward onto Mark. Do they have shards? They don't have shards. He decreps himself up. And is he going to be able to get away? They've reapplied the poison. It looks like they're ready to dive the trees here. He tanks the Nether Blast here on Firefly and sucking up, but no. Tag team as well as the Walrus Punch. They're going to be able to kill off this mid Pugna. So with that fight mostly in favor for the side of DBG. As you can see, they got a 4-for-1 trade actually, only losing their Troll.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Dazzle, Arcane Boots, Necro 1 completed, will probably now head straight towards her Guardian Greaves. And Sven has a Vanguard. So they're going to be able to hit this timing push on the side of DBG at least. Before the AM, let's see how he's doing. Only 2 Wraith Bands. No components except the Quelling Blade for his Battle Fury. And in the mid lane, they see Karma and they think about TPing in with the AM. But the Sinister Gaze, they don't even manage to get the deny. They lose the Lich. The AM not TPing in there. Meanwhile, on the top lane, it looks like Roar was used. And OP, he actually survives the final bit thanks to that Shallow Grate. But now they're looking to turn around. They have popped the Decrep himself on his Pugna. Tag team plus that punch doing so much damage here to Play Hard. But they're not able to finish him off. And he has the stolen Shallow Wave. And now taking a Decrep Nether Blast to the face is going to send them away for the side. But are they able to turn around on the send? Suck Nether Blast. He does have the Warcry, but it's not enough to save him. And this Pugna of Mark has really recovered, getting a nice few kills there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All the meanwhile, though, AM has been left to his own devices. He's who most of this late game hope is for the side of Scuddelicious. Nice double heal coming out at the shrine. Vlad's also completed on this Beastmaster. Looks like he's building his Necrobooks. They're thinking about making something happen. Marlin walking in, but this Keeper of the Light, his ultimate, isn't that great catch. And it looks like they just want to pressure this tier 1 tower. But smoke up here for the side of Neon. They're wrapping round. They saw them running towards the Pugna. They know what's going on. And with the Courier, they ping out where the Keeper of Light is. They have the Hawk coming out. There is a sentry, so they see the direction that the Hawk is flying from. Will they figure out what's going on? And it looks like with the stolen Store Boil for hacking Luke, they might be able to do something. Sven, he pops his ultimate, but they're all under the Will-O-Wisp. Are they able to kill Play Hard? The Lich ultimate, it doesn't bounce off anyone. So it looks like with that Ignis Fatus, they're going to be able to kill too. Really nice Will-O-Wisp there from Marlin. They just weren't able to burst him quite in time. And that's going to be this tier 1 top tower. Nothing they can do quite about it. Karma sitting in the trees here. I don't think you can kill the AM unless you get a bunch of lucky roots, but he's going to blink out before Karma even gets the chance to try it. Rappy, Necrobook 1 completed. After that, he might think about going farming, and the Dazzle is just here to defend this mid tower. It's got pretty low. They actually don't catch him in with the shards. But the Decrep, meaning you can't reapply the tag team. They do slow him down. But Decrep TP, and they're not going to be able to do anything about that. Meanwhile, it looks like Keeper of Light was going on a warden mission, but walking up into this Beastmaster is going to be death for the squishy bottle.
Just a touch.
Troll building his own Battle Fury, and he is the net worth leader, so he'll come online at least with the Battle Fury before the AM. But you do not farm as fast because you just don't have that mobility that AM offers. Guevara. farming up the Necrobots and all the summons from the Beastmaster. He splits them 2 for 2. Really cute play there. And with the shards, I still don't think they're going to be able to get the gold from this Necro melee creep.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
A smoke does come out in the top. It looks like they're thinking about fighting for these top bounty runes. They have vision of this ward here. They don't catch anything. The Keeper looks like he just wanted to get in deep wards. They are running forward with the Sven. They do have the Tusk. If they manage to catch anyone out, but playing quite safe under his tower here is Rappy.
Dire's top tower.
Warcry. Do they manage to catch him with the shards? No, no catch on the shards, but they're diving right under these tier 3s. Frost Shield as well as a nice Lich ulti coming out. The Roar, they don't have quite enough to kill Rappy and now, but they're both caught in the Ignis, but that pushes them out actually with the Blinding Light. So are they able to get anything? Gavara lifted up. How long left on this Will-O-Wisp? It has faded. Now they've brought in the Pugna. They have the Shallow Grave onto Gavara, but it's not quite enough as he turns around just to try and allow them to disengage. Firefly, he shards himself to the high ground. Doesn't die to that Nether Blast, so he's going to be able to get away on that Tusk. But Frost Shield actually here onto the Wild Boars as well as the Slow. They brought in the Beastmaster, and I think OP might go down next. They don't have Roar, but with the Decrep, they know there's no Shallow Grave, and they're just going to suck OP to death. They're diving really far there for the side of DBG. Instantly punished by some nice rotations there from Neon. And this has left AM all alone. He's taken this bottom tower. And he's pretty damn close. It looks like he does have on the courier the rest of his Battle Fury. So he's actually going to complete his Battle Fury before the Troll. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see in the next few minutes AM accelerate to the top of this net worth chart. Top lane, they do manage to get the lift into the suck. This Squishy Cottle, as we said, he's going to go down again and again if Mark manages to catch him out. Especially with Dagon next on the agenda.
Tower is under attack.
Sven! He just decrept suck, but the Warcry minimizing the damage coming out there.
Radiant's top tower
Looks like they know they need some more solid initiation for the side of DBG. So he's just building towards his blink, maybe hoping to make something happen. Battle Fury here is on Karma. But he just doesn't have the mobility, and they also see this now thanks to this ward. AM. Actually, he's thinking about farming the Troll's Ancients before he has a chance to do them himself. He'll farm their side of the map while his team farms his side. And this has put Neon, after all this turn of events, in the net worth lead. After that rocky laning phase, they've really fought themselves back into it. Oaked up here, they have Necro 3s online for that Beastmaster as well. Orc hoping to give some mid lane vision as the Pugna lays into this tower. So they see where the Troll is, thanks to the Hawk and the creeps and the Roar. Are they going to be able to burst up this Troll before he gets to the ulti? And they definitely are with the Sinister Gaze. The shards don't catch onto Rappy, so they're going to be able to get away after a nice pickoff on the carry of the side of DBG. And that kill puts the AM firmly ahead by 600 gold. Something we said to look out for.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now Necro Thieves online for the Beastmaster. They have no way of defending this tower, especially with the decrep, meaning you can't get a deny. It looks like you're overextended here on the Tusk. The Warcry might be enough, but they're now fighting under the Will-O-Wisp. The Will-O-Wisp has only caught onto one. A nice Lich ulti coming out onto everyone, and they do manage to kill off this Keeper of the Light. Just TPing away there for safety is the Tusk. He got pretty low, but he did have the Shallow Grave. So Neon look to be firmly in control of this game now. AM has his Yasha been left all alone.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Now almost a full 2k gold ahead of this Troll, who used to be our own net worth leader. And it looks like they're not afraid of you, Troll. You're trying to man up, and he blinks in totally the wrong direction into the trees. Or maybe thinking that they brought support, and that's why the Troll was playing so ballsy. Just looking for a squishy support hiding in the trees here. And while they push top lane, Dazzle is sitting in these trees, pushing out mid. Rappy, he's going towards his blink to give them even more good initiation for the side here. Ether Lens looks like it's probably completed soon for this rubric. That's sitting on the courier. Yes, the Ether Lens recipe is on the courier. And it looks like they're just going to Roshan with the full level 4 inner beast as well as the Necro 3s. They hit so hard and so fast. But we don't have a smoke up. It looks like they're going to get a trade onto this Lich, but I think he'll be more than happy to trade a Lich for a full Roshan, as the poor big man in the pit has dropped. So Aegis completed on this AM, and it looks like he also gets his full Manta style. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go Bash and X and just start eliminating people from the side of DBG in fights. 6k gold lead here for Neon. Sven, he really has his Blink Dagger online at long last. So they will be able to catch someone out if they're able to find them. But they're really looking for a more premium kill than that Lich who they previously caught. Guardian Greaves, is that completed for Dazzle? He does have something coming out to him on the courier. And yes, they have the completed Guardian Greaves. That's going to give them a lot more sustain in the fights when they get low. Also, ability to purge with Decrep. Pretty nice on the Dazzle. So, they're really hoping to catch someone out with this Sven Blink. Big reveal of it. They see where Scuddylicious is. But do you really want to just take down the Aegis? It looks like they don't. The Grave actually is online for the Rubik. So this Lich, he is going to get out his ultimate. And Happy Licious, he actually manages to survive. Lich does die. But Happy Licious finally drops down to the Frost Shield. So that's going to be a 2-for-1. But the Dazzle is a mid-Dazzle. And as I said before, Scuddylicious, he is able just to blink in Manta. Kill this Will-O-Wisp. Marlin. He has managed to blind up the AM. It's still online, but it's fading off. He blinks forward. They're just trying to burn his mana. This is quite a conical chase, but this Keeper of Light, he's fairly fast. And it looks like blink forward. And another blind. He doesn't have the Manta style to get rid of it. It looks like he's going to be just fine. Really nice play here from the Keeper. Firefly, just a fair amount of harass. He knows he has Aegis. As well as the ability to blink away. But Marlin played that really well, manning up against that AM. But you won't be able to do that soon with the full Basher completed for this AM. So, top lane, Guevara, they know Raw is on cooldown, so he's just going to be able to TP away in the face of Rappy. But with Aegis, are they going to try and push high ground now that the Basher is completed on the AM? They have almost everything they could want in the world. Pugner, what have you gone for? Only has a Dagon 1 at this point, but that's still a really large amount of burst. Sitting on the Radiant high ground side here is Neon. Are they going to catch anyone out? They do see the Troll, but they don't have vision for him. Sinister Gaze? No, it's not coming out. And it looks like AM blink forward has the Frost Field. Is he going to be able to kill off this Dazzle? But no, with the Greaves. He didn't use Manta Style, but with the Roar, it looks like that's going to be a dead Dazzle, as well as Tusk. All his mana drained. They don't have anything here to save this Sven as he goes down to the burst of the Pugner. And Troll using his ulti to make him sustain, but the Decrep saving the AM's life. And that's another kill, and it looks like that's a full team wipe for the side of Neon, and GG is called here by Karma. Neon, they just know that AM's online and they've got nothing to deal with him, and that's a 23-minute win for the side of Neon Gaming.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
So DBG won the lanes fairly well, but just able to fight into the game. They didn't manage to shut down this AM at all. And you can see here on the graphs how they were a little bit ahead, but a few fights, and then this AM with his Battle Fury just farming so far ahead, and there was nothing they could do against Scuddylicious. So, thank you very much everyone for tuning in for game number 1 of that best of 3. My name is Hasbaz. Feel free to drop me a follow, and I'm going to leave you with some music while we wait for the next game to start. this Dazzle before she has a chance to grave anyone.
Dire
Rubik
team
as well,
banned.
instant pick, and the Tusk also left in the pool.
Radiant team banned.
So this is the exact same opening from Deathbringer with the Tusk Dazzle, and it was very strong in the lanes. They just didn't manage to make anything happen from it. Neon, they have got the Tiny through, something we do usually see first banned. He's just so strong in whatever lane thanks to his tree and having the burst damage. So, we're into phase 2. Let's see what bans. They're banning out this Timbersaw again. That seems to be something Neon do, even if they're not going to rush into getting a melee mid hero like the Kunkka and Medusa. Just the hardest carry at the moment in the game. Someone you can't let through.
Remaining.
So, Elder Titan is banned out. With the Medusa banned,
5
we might
seconds
see
remaining.
a Terrorblade ban. Just because Medusa, Terrorblade, then AM. How I see the carries in this patch, to be honest. I'm whittling away here for Deathbringer.
Radiant team
And they
banned.
ban up the Lich that they managed to get last time on Neon into the second phase. They're not going to let them do that again. I'm curious where they lane this Tiny, because if you lane the Dazzle into the Tiny, I'm pretty sure Dazzle wins. But we will see what happens.
Ten seconds remaining.
So do you ban out another hard carry here?
5
On the
seconds
side of Neon?
remaining.
It's like, do you want to let the Terrorblade through? You do have first pick into the next phase. That's something they want to think about doing on the side of Neon. But I really don't think you want to let Deathbringer get a Terrorblade with a Dazzle, because Shallow Grave just allows him to get that Sunder off almost every single time. Not much time remaining here. Really thinking about this next ban for Neon. Because they can only ban out one carry, so either the AM or the Terrorblade is getting through into the second phase. As well as something we saw ignored in the last series, but China's been really hyping up,
Radiant
is
team picked.
Faceless Void. Wow, that's really interesting. I understand they didn't want to let the PA through, thanks to the bad Juju minus armor of the Dazzle. It's a very powerful combination. So, you know, Dazzle manages to get off a few spells and PA comes in and just cleaves and wrecks face.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
So, first pick
remaining.
for round 2 for Neon. They can go back for that AM if they want it. Are they confident enough to pick it here?
Dire team pick.
Winter Wyvern.
Apparently they don't want the AM quite yet, and they're picking up a Winter Wyvern. This is interesting. I've seen Winter Wyvern, but only generally picked against IOs. But Neon seem to believe in the carry of it just as a regular 5 position. I mean, it is great in lane. So much spam, can
10
defend towers.
seconds remaining.
And just the counter initiation of the Winter's Curse.
5 seconds remaining.
Something so powerful there. But this will leave Deathbringer with their choice of carries. And we don't even know if this Dazzle's a 5 position. They might pick up their 5 position here, like Neon did. Shadow Shaman, a great 5 position left in the pool. Also, I think Lion is pretty good, and Jakiro. I think one of those 3 would be what I would pick for Deathbringer if Dazzle isn't a 5 position. Also, they can start thinking about their offlaner. There's Sven if they want to try that again, and also Tidehunter. Something worth considering for the side of Deathbringer. A lot on their minds, it seems, as they're down to less than 1 minute of reserve time. For some reason, I haven't seen a lot of Brew lately shined. But you're right, that is another premium offlaner that could do well. You know, actually you're right. Really good in fights, because if he manages to find the Wyvern on the back lanes, doesn't let him manage to get off Winter's Curse. But we shall see, as 30 seconds remaining for Deathbringer. Seems some very hard decisions on their plate. Are they still here?
Radiant team pick.
And it is the Brewmaster. Very well played in the chat there. But they did eat up a lot of their reserve time to get that pick. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see a carry coming out here for Neon.
10 seconds remaining.
Or, depending where they're thinking of laning the Tiny, a
5
mid laner that's
seconds
not going to be
remaining.
countered. You might maybe pick up OD here. No, but if you pick up OD, they can just pick Pugna, so it's not a good OD pick. And they do take the Terrorblade. We mentioned Terrorblade was left in the pool as one of the best carries. Oh, this is a 5-position brew. That's really interesting. Yeah, that is where we've seen him mostly, 5-position brew. Works really well with the Tusk,
10
thanks to his
seconds
Drunken Brawler.
remaining.
They're both able to get right up in
5
there,
seconds
get the slow off.
remaining.
But this Terrorblade is really scary. They don't have much to counter it, and it was really good removing it from Deathbringer Gaming, I think.
Shadow Fiend.
And it's going to be a mid SF. Does anyone know if Deathbringer brings the new style of builds the new style of SF, where they build into Greaves? Because this definitely means that the Dazzle is either an offlaner or a 5 position, depending where they want to
10 seconds
mix
remaining.
between the Brewmaster. So this Shadow Fiend could build
5
Guardian
seconds
Greaves,
remaining.
which is what we've been seeing, because it really helps with his armor difficulties, makes him a fair bit tanky. But I am so worried for this SF versus this Tiny matchup. Like, if Tiny gets online, he's just going to go around hunting the SF. So, Neon, they know they need to ban out a carry for the side of Deathbringer. They do have the Terrorblade, so I'm not sure you feel the need to ban out that Anti-Mage, thanks to the strength of the Terrorblade's reflection here. But you could also ban out the
Team
Faceless
back.
Void, but no, the Morphling. Morphling, someone who does counter Terrorblade if he gets far enough ahead thanks to his instant burst damage, means you can't get off the Sunder. So I like that ban by Neon. And then they don't have much reserve time here on the side of Deathbringer, so they really need to bring out this ban. A mid laner, OD is still in the pool. I
10
think you have to
seconds
ban...
remaining.
I mean, they haven't banned Pugna for the side of Neon, but they
5
do have
seconds
second
remaining.
pick. So they might ban out the
Dire
Pugna and
team
pick the
pick.
OD themselves. So the thing is, or you might just pick Pugna, because Pugna versus Terrorblade, the instant burst is really nice. But yeah, let's see what Deathbringer do. They really don't have much time. And I think if they don't pick Pugna here, Neon are just going to have an OD Terrorblade lineup,
10
and I'm
seconds
pretty sure
remaining.
OD does fairly decently in the mid lane versus the SF, as long
5
as she doesn't
seconds
tank too many
remaining.
raises. Well, I think Tiny can go off. It doesn't need to be a mid Tiny.
Life Stealer.
And that is a hero I haven't seen for a very long period of time, the Lifestealer. I mean, they have a Tusk, but you're not really infesting his Tusk, you're just getting his Snowball. That's really... I mean, they just don't have the right click. How are they going to deal with this Terrorblade?
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know how I feel about
5
that.
seconds remaining.
So we don't know if this is a mid lane Tiny. It could be. I think Tiny lanes decently versus Shadow Fiend, especially because he could get those early denies. Make sure Shadow Fiend doesn't get souls online for a fair amount of time, thanks to the tree grab. So they could take an offlaner, something like a Tide Hunter, Sand King here. For Neon. Puck in the mid lane. Puck, you're right. You're right about the Puck Terrorblade combination because the coil is just so nice, so you can't run away from his Metamorph Illusions. Decent amount of burst damage, and does give you a silence for the Brewmaster. But I mean, just OD when OD is left in the pool. Why would you not take OD? You know. Anyway, let's see what they've gone for. And Slardar. Oh wow. Okay. So just minus armor and control for the side of Neon. So this means this is a mid tiny on the side of Mark. But you know what? Actually, that was a really heads up pick because now they have the early physical damage. So Karma's not going to be able to do anything. He's just going to be amplified. SF already suffers from being too squishy in fights, as well as having an amp that's going to be awful on him. So let's have a look. This is the off-lane Dazzle and the 5-position Brew, as you called correctly, chat. This Lifestealer, maybe they can make it work. I mean, they are definitely aiming to hit earlier before the Terrorblade, but Terrorblade, he farms so fast and he can defend his... I mean, they won't have any trouble fighting you with their other 4 heroes, while the Terrorblade just has a fun time farming the jungle. So I think this might be an easy 2-0 for Neon. But obviously, in the chat, you can let me know who you think's going to win. But this lineup of Deathbringer, I want to see it do well. But I'm really dubious. I have not seen a lot of Lifestealer this patch. As we wait to load into the game, 5 seconds. Ooh. I want to see Karma do well. I always love having the full best of 3, but he does have the fully decked out Nakes, so he knows how to play the hero. Because everyone knows if you have good cosmetics, you're also good at the hero, as they so say. But still, and obviously, all games have to start with a pause. Okay, and it looks like we have the start of game number 2. Do we have anyone going for an early smoke gang? This 3 combination offers a lot of kill potential. They have the slow. They could go for a second stun with the Slardar, but they might just go for the damage of the Fate Bolt, being able to catch people with this Winter Wyvern. So I wouldn't be surprised for this ragtag team of 3 to get first blood. Oh, sorry. Really good idea removing my overlay. Thank you very much, chat, for reminding me. That's on me for forgetting that. And they do see Karma. But it looks like they weren't really set up to take advantage of first blood. They do have the Tusk waiting on this high ground. With 3 of them hitting with the tag team as well as the Drunken Brawler. They could turn around what's happening top lane, but it looks like showing their faces. Are we going to see a fighter up to this top lane? I think the side of Deathbringer are probably going to pussy out, if I'm a bit honest. But we will find out. Tiny, he's obviously got his tree already online. We think he'll beat SF in the mid lane, at least in the early levels, thanks to his much higher base damage. Being able to get those denies. He hasn't leveled up Bash yet. So he didn't get the stacks underway. And not even taking these runes. It's going to be 3 runes for the side of the Radiant. That Terrorblade picking it out, not even knowing what happened there. And I don't know either. So it seems they're laning the Lifestealer into the Terrorblade. I guess Dazzle does do a lot better in this lane with the pressure coming out from the Rubik and the Slardar. Because once they hit level 2, they're going to have bashes, lifts, Fate Bolt. And I guess they just don't want to subject their life stealer to it. So they realize what the lanes are. Metamorphs is popped early just to be able to win the early game. But he does miss a CS there on Scuddelicious. And on this top lane, they're pinging out Happy Luke, but I don't really think they can make anything happen. Still nothing committed.
The master is I almost feel bad.
For either skills. For the people here in this top lane. Mid lane so far, Tiny, he has got one deny. Just this early Necromastery is going to be so tough. It does help a bit with Slippers of Agility, but Tiny's base damage there.
Are you okay?
The more denies he gets, the longer he can keep down the Shadow Fiend.
Are you okay? Well, look at that.
And it seems the side of Neon really feeling themselves as well as the chat lines tonight.
Rock'em sock'em.
I assume Happy Luke is some kind of sponsor for Team Neon. Or they know a guy who's a really happy Luke. Who even knows? So, top lane. They're really waiting for their level 2s. I think with level 2 in this top lane, the Rubik Slardar is going to be able to make something happen. He has leveled up Slithering Crush if Flyfly's out of position, but they only have the Fate Bolt here. But he's laying into them. They do get off a nice Shadow Wave. That's a Shadow Wave. That's a nice amount of damage here on Therapy. And on this bottom lane, they're diving onto this Wyvern thanks to the open wounds, slowing him down, but Splinter Blast is going to push them back. Metamorphosis still on cooldown here. As he salves up onto Abeng. So the slow, they don't have rage, they know he doesn't have it, so you're getting out a lot of damage here. Thanks to the Arctic Burn, that's harassing Karma. And now they have both their level 2s, they have Lift, they have Bash. Will he prime it with one more Bash? So Lift, he's primed the Bash. There you go, as well as the Sun Gavara. He does the Shallow Wave, and with the Brew coming in, that's going to be a fair amount of turnaround damage.
Haste.
Wyvern being hunted down by this Tusk, but not even using Tag Team. And Haste Rune here on the Tiny. You can see he is winning the early mid lane, as we assumed he would. Those early raises, not quite enough power thing, and he does even get the kill with the Haste Rune. Just using the Avalanche, running in there with his right clicks. I didn't expect him to dive that deep. And that's first blood there for the Tiny, cementing his advantage even further. That also gets rid of half the SF souls that he'd worked so hard to build up. Terrorblade, he'll have meta again. And remember, he's getting high levels in his reflection. So once he hits about level 5 or something, if this lane gets... in his Conjuring Image. If this lane gets too hard, you will see Scuddelicious go to the jungle. They've got a nice slow. He still doesn't have Rage up, and he has meta in 1 second. But then don't have quite enough damage or enough slow to kill off Karma over here in the bottom lane. Top lane, it doesn't seem like anything's happened, but they know that they need to play fairly safe here for the side of DBG, and it's a 2k advantage already for Neon. Shards, not really achieving much there. I think maybe he tried to go for a CS because his lifestealer is so zoned away from the lane. And thanks to the high armor of the Terrorblade, he could just literally tank the creeps inevitably. And I'm sorry about missing these kills, but Mark is just playing so well. Like, just Avalanche, toss, killed. I did not expect him to die like this again and again on the SF. Happy Luke? It's Abeng, sorry. Happy Luke is their sponsor. Abeng has an Invis Rune. They know he has it because they saw him get it. Metamorphosis popped to try and deny them. Rage, however, finally they're not going to be able to get a slow off. And thanks to the shards, that's going to zone out the Terrorblade. Using the tag team to zone into ANGGAME. And in this top lane, they're pinging out. Are they going to make anything happen? They do get the poison touch as well as the slow. And another slow coming out from the Thundercamp. But they're just lifting back the Brewmaster. And he's going to be fine here on this Slardar. Mark tossing back not quite enough to kill OP. But he's living dangerously under this tower. Has the infused raindrops so that these Requiems won't do enough. He has stick, but I don't think that's going to be quite enough for Avalanche. But he is just zoning OP here. Enough for the toss. And a kill! How is this happening to this SF? While that happened, we saw the rune exchange, and it was 3 for the side of Neon Gaming. They are just stomping this early game. It's only a 3-0 lead, but it's already a 3k advantage. And with all his advantages at the mid lane, SF feels like he can't come to lane. Has to jungle with his Requiem. I mean, jungle with his Razors. But that's something you don't like to see. And the Lifestealer, he's left bottom lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They've given up on 2 lanes. So Tiny, he's now forcing it into the tower. That's going to allow OP to get a little bit for themselves. But they're just having a lovely 3-man shrine. And then Mark, with his phase boots coming on the courier. The SF isn't going to be able to escape for this. Does SF even have boots? SF doesn't even have boots. Once Tiny and an arcane rune in his bottle. So they do have the Tusk, giving them a ward for safety. They do see the Tiny Avalanche toss. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. I mean, they do bring him with the tag team, but this is a level 7 Tiny. They've caught him with the shards and the poison touch as well as the dazzle. He really should have TP'd away. An Avalanche, not enough quite damage. Mark, he does kill off the Tusk as well while he's going down. But they bring in all 5 heroes to fight up this mid Tiny. I think you're quite happy with that, honestly, if you're the side of Neon. And he gets another kill on this SF.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Deathbringer just so far behind in this early game. And they have a Lifestealer. They don't win the late game. And they don't seem to be winning the early game either. I'm just not quite sure what they can do at this stage in the game. We haven't really seen much out of Firefly and this.
Radiant are scanning.
So it looks like they've changed up the lanes here. Gavora in the bottom lane with Marlin. But Terrorblade level 6. He doesn't have a point save for Sunder, so he might be killable. And they are rotating in Firefly. The thing is, Rappy, I think, is happy laning against Karma thanks to this new bash. He'll prime it every time and then just get out the harass here. Level 3, he's hoping to save it. Look, he's just got the level 3 bash and he wanted to use it on Karma. And meanwhile, Tiny, they've gone again, running into the high ground on Firefly. But Gavara is here, doesn't manage to get off the heal. But Marlin, they have the slow, they've even TP'd in Karma. But he's going to take no physical damage thanks to that cold embrace. Happy, is he able to get away? The poison touch is still on him. But nice Avalanche toss onto 4. The Avalanche catching everyone. Abeg getting a nice slow thanks to that Splinter Blast. And they're just going to have to all walk away. They all TP in to deal with this Tiny, and this just leaves the Terrorblades as well as Rappy here all by themselves. They have Metamorphosis. I wonder if it'll be popped. And what? He finds Karma overextending in the mid lane, and he's just going to drop to the Avalanche toss. What was he doing there on this Lifestealer? 7-1. I hope you bet first to 10 kills on Neon Gaming.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Firefly sitting in the trees here. They have Mark. He has phase boots, only 1,000 gold away from his Blink Dagger. If he sees anyone else, they're going to be dead meat, and it looks like he has caught the Tusk. Tusk manages to snowball in time, but the Fate Bolt sniping him off. And now, Tiny, he's level 8. He's not afraid to fight up against you, Firefly. They have applied the Poison Touch. He has level 6, so that bad Juju is reducing the minus armor, but the Avalanche catches onto Gavara. But they're not able to make anything happen for it. But Rappy, he's come in. They throw forward the creep. Doesn't throw forward anyone but Rappy. With his sprint, gets the stun off. Doesn't have quite enough damage. They know they don't have Grave on Gavara. And OP is here now. Rappy, you might have overextended a tiny bit. He eats one raise, the second raise. But is that going to be too much? They've got the Poison Touch now, as well as the last hit and the final raise. They do finally manage to kill Rappy. But in the meanwhile, Terrorblade was farming very happily. And he's using meta, just rotating, taking towers. They took the top tier 1, and now this mid tower with the Metamorphosis will go down.
Tower is under attack.
We're 9 minutes in, so let's have a look at the net worth graph. You can see all the 3 cores of the side of Neon. This Terrorblade and Tiny massively ahead. Just, I've never seen such domination against an SF in the mid lane by a Tiny. Mark playing amazingly there. Scadalicious. His meta is wearing off, but he has a full drums. It looks like the drums, not something you usually see on a Terrorblade, but he realizes how far ahead they are, so that just getting another early fighting item just cements their advantage even further. They do have Rappy here, and so they haven't noticed where Karma is. They are pinging him. Don't think they quite have vision for it. He's going for the TP, but he has the Bash primed. Nice use of the Rage. If he had found him and he managed to get off the Bash of the Deep, that would have been a dead lifestealer. Bark. Looks like he's almost there at his Blink Dagger. We're about to see things take off. And this Rubik, what will he build first? He's finishing off his stick. He's getting some nice free farm time in the mid lane. And it looks like with this Tiny, he has the money for his Blink Dagger if he wants it. Will they try and pressure this tower? Let's follow this Tiny. I predict a kill very far in his future. And they're invading the jungle here. They don't have any deep warding, but it looks like they're just farming with the Terrorblade with impunity. And Scuddy-licious, he's there now. Happy Luke, they're amplifying at Karma. He needs to get away. He pops the Rage. That does purge it off, but they get an easy bash. And he's inside a creep. Will they figure out which creep? They're bringing out the correct one. And they do get off the correct one. Fate Bolt as well as the amp, allowing the kill to go to Scuddy-licious. Brewmaster, he does have level 6 now. He pops this in. A nice catch there with the shards, but stopping them taking damage here with the Cold Embrace. But they do have a raise, allowing them to kill off the Rubik. Amplification onto Marlin. Even the Winter's Curse as well. I'm not quite sure they need it. Rappy running forward with his sprint, but it's wearing off. He has amplified up. OG taking a lot of damage there on Rappy. But the Sunder, nice save there. And on the backline, Mark killing this SF again, his arch enemy. Firefly has taken the amplification, but with the buyback of the SF as well as the TP of the Tusk, they seem to be running away. Are they going to be able to catch up Mark again? Nice shards. He's Cold Embrace. Karma, he is here. He's amplified again, but the stun, it's not really doing much. A nice avalanche onto 3 as well as the toss. OP, he's dead again. That was a buyback from OP. They do get Poison Touch onto Rappy. They've amplified up Guevara no matter how he heals himself. But he drops thanks to that minus armor. Abang actually even killing him with the right click. They kill off the Tusk and Karma. They're running after him here with Mark. Slows coming out from the Wyvern. And that is a dead Karma. And that is a full team wipe. And the disconnect comes out. Is that GG? They haven't called GG, but Terrorblade disconnecting after that. And that's a 12-minute victory. 10k gold lead for Neon Esports. Wow. Deathbringer Gaming not happy with what happened there. And Neon sweeps the game number 2 in clear fashion. Have a look at the graphs. Wow. That is a rapid rise. And this, remember, this is 0. Just Neon Esports actually stomping game number 2. And they fought their way into it with game number 1. So, thank you very much, everyone who's tuned in so far. My name is Hasbaz. Feel free to drop me a follow here on this channel. I will be bringing you the next game, Dragon versus IP, right here. But until then, I will leave you with some music. Thank you very much again for everyone who's tuned in. And I will see you in, I'm not sure how long. I will put up a timer. I think it's probably about an hour. So again, thank you very much, everyone who's tuned in.